Hello everyone, we'll be studying the quadratic equation. This is our topic for today, and in this chapter I have written all this thing according to your need. Of course, before we start, again I'm saying I'm not going to just do your exercise. You can do your exercise by yourself if you focus on the method and the thing we're going to learn first. So in our chapter quadratic equation, what we are going to learn, we'll discuss about it. We're going to discuss the quadratic equation and the various ways of finding their roots and some application on it, and based on the daily life situation we're going to learn. So before we start, let me tell you about this syllabus, what we're going to learn. I have prepared all this thing so that it will take less time for me. You can write it down on your notebook by pausing this video. You see, syllabus is very important. Syllabus means what we are going to learn in this chapter. So first of all, the first thing is that we're going to learn the standard form of a quadratic equation, which is this is the standard form, and a must not equal to 0, because I will tell you everything what is the quadratic and linear, because you have learned already earlier in chapter 3. Linear means linear means like single x, like the power will be always 1, and here the power is 2. So quad means here 2. So we'll be discussing all this thing, but before we start, let's see the syllabus. And the second, we're going to study solution of quadratic equation, only the real root. Of course, we're going to work on the real root only, not on the imaginary. We're going to do by factorization, by the completing a square and the quadratic formula. And the third one is we're going to find the relationship between the discriminant and the nature of root. And the fourth, situational problem and the daily life situation on the quadratic equation. We're going to learn all this thing. So be ready to learn all this thing. We'll be looking all this thing quadratic equation. What is the meaning of all the this thing? So we're going to learn everything by the unit wise. I have already separated it by the unit base, like this one. Like best, I have made 4 units based on your topics, means the chapter. The first unit I'm going to discuss about the quadratic equation and its solution. So we'll be discussing in this first video about this first unit, and after that we're going to follow the second one, like solution of a quadratic equation by the factorization, and the third one, the solution of, you can read all this thing, and the last one is the word problem and the solution. So I made like this so that it will take less time, and I try to write most of the thing on the paper, so that if you don't understand my language, means if you have problem in understanding, then you can read it out, all this thing, and write it on your paper. So why syllabus is important? It means that, you see, without knowing, if you want to start something, simply exercise, which is not helpful if you want to learn something, because many people are studying like simply they want just exercise. So if you want just exercise, you can just buy any guide or something like that. So we'll try here to understand each and every topic unit of this chapter. So without wasting time, let's start this unit 1. Unit 1 is like this. We're going to start the quadratic equation. So what is the quadratic equation? Linear means where the only one variable is there, like for example x plus 4 equal to something like 0. This is called linear equation. So I hope you are aware of that. So we are not going to discuss about the linear equation. In this chapter we'll be discussing about the quadratic equation. So an equation of the form. So what the form? So as I have shown already earlier. So our form is like ax square plus b of x, not b of x, bx and c equal to 0. So my space a little bit okay, that's okay. So you see, you have already learned about this thing. What is this? This is called terms, okay, and then this is called coefficient. This is your variable, and this x, you can change this all the this coefficient a, b, c, whatever you want to be, you want to keep it. So this is called quadratic equation. Like in a variable where a, b, c are real number and a cannot be 0, because we are learning quadratic equation, so we cannot make a equal to 0, because if we make a equal to 0, that will become like 0x square, it will give 0. So we'll have only the bx plus c, and if you see this one, this become linear, so that's why we cannot make it 0. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some example based on this one. As you can see, I already told you, like, you can take a is any coefficient, so we can take some number like just 4x square plus any number, just 2x or whatever you want to take it, or plus equal to 3 equal to 0. So this is just an example I gave you. Like this is in a standard form. Yeah, if the thing is written in this form, like in this way, then we will say that is a standard form. But if the thing is not written like x plus x square plus 2, as you can see, equal to 0, this is not a standard form. So sorry, I didn't look at the camera. Like for example, x square plus 2, this is not a standard form, because as you can see, x square must be in the beginning and then after x and then c. So this is not a standard form. This is standard form. As you can see, compare it properly and you write it down everything properly in your copy as a notes, and try to learn the things first, and then after you go for the exercise or whatever you want to do it. So this is the thing that I just explained. So next thing we're going to learn about the method to check whether a given equation is quadratic or not. So we will discuss the how to check whether something some equation is quadratic or not. So I have already wrote something like, to check the first we need to write in its simplest form and then compare the equation and the standard equation of a quadratic equation. And one thing, it's very important, like if the equation is written like this form, if it is written in this one, then only we can say quadratic equation, otherwise this will not be a quadratic equation. So we're going to solve some example on this one. Like I wrote already the question, check whether the following are quadratic equation or not, and this is your one number. We'll be solving this too, and you can do your exercise 4.1 first question by yourself without looking from guide or something somewhere else. So always try to do your exercise by yourself, because I want you to try by yourself. That's why the exercise are given. So first you learn the before the exercise, many things are explained, you learn all those things, and then after you go ahead with your exercise and try to do your exercise as possible by yourself. Means first you have to learn the things and then you can proceed. So we'll be learning about this one, like check whether the following are quadratic or not. So I'm going to solve this thing right now, like x square plus sorry, not x, x plus 1 and x plus 2 and all this thing. I was reading this x square. So okay, we're going to solve this like question. So we can write solution given x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 3 and x plus 1 as the equation 1. I'm giving here equation 1. Oh, I don't. So this is your equation 1. Okay, so we're going to solve all this thing. As a first we can do like left hand side. So I wrote this one. As you can see, this is left hand side and this is your right hand side. I hope you are aware about it. So what we're going to do, like we're going to multiply this, and then for example you can use x into x, x square, otherwise it's just like a formula, like x square plus twice x minus 2, and then we can add all this thing like x square, and if you minus this one 2x, and nothing is there means 1x, so it will be x because this is the bigger one, and then 2. So how we done this one? It's very simple. You multiply with this one, x into x, x square, plus sign will be plus, x into 2, 2x, again minus into x will be minus x, and then again this one minus into this one. So we can just do it simply. After the left hand side we can do the, so actually I forgot my camera. Actually I didn't use any camera before, so I'm sorry for that. As you can see, x minus 1, x plus 2, and we have multiplied all this thing, and that's become like x square plus 2x, and then this is just one I wrote. It's not necessary to write minus 2, and then we just subtracted this to 2x and 1x, that will be x, because, and then minus 2 as it is. So after the left hand side we can go for the right hand side. Right hand side is your x minus 3 and x plus 1. So this is our right hand side, and then we're going to multiply x into x. If you have problem in this doing this, I don't think you will have much problem in this one, but suppose if you don't know how to multiply this thing, then also it's okay. So I'm going to do it one by one. X, I'm going to multiply this to this, x plus 1 minus sign, so I will be writing minus 3, okay, and then multiplying this side. It's very simple. X into x, because whenever we multiply this will be like power. I'm explaining from the beginning. I'm assuming that you don't know anything. So x into x, suppose power is 1, so we add the power 1 plus 1, which will be x square. It's not necessary, but some of you may not know. For them this is x into x, x square, and then multiply x into 1 will be x, minus into this one minus 3x, and minus when you open the bracket this will be minus 3. After this we're going to substitute this value and the another one, this value, in equation 1. This was our equation 1. So on substituting, let me turn on the light. I guess it's not visible because I'm sitting in a little bit. So on substituting, light is not necessary, I guess, because I'm getting some shadow. So on substituting these values in equation 1, we can write whatever you want to write. Like I'm going to write this one in this section and the right hand side in this one, okay? So let me fold. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is the right hand side. I'm going to write on right hand side. Okay, I didn't subtracted this one. Okay, sorry. X square, and this is your minus 2x because positive x and negative x, and this will be 3. Okay, so I'm going to write this one, x square minus 2x minus 3, and then this left hand side, okay, x square plus x minus 2. So these both are equal now, and we'll substitute, means transpose here and there because both all are the positive and negative only. So I'm going to transpose this side, x already here, I'm going to bring it this side. This will be negative because this is positive, and then after this is your x already, I'm going to bring this side negative. So we'll bring this one this side, this will be positive 2x, okay, and then this minus 2 and minus 3 will come this side, and this will be plus 3, and we can write equal to 0. Why 0? Because nothing left this side, okay. So we'll be learning one by one everything. So if I'm slow, if you have some suggestion, how, if you have any problem with me, means in my this teaching style, you can just comment down below, because I'm going to put on the YouTube so that it can be easily distributed to my all the students. So as you can see, x minus x, of course this will become 0, this will cancel over, and then after this x and x we can write 3x, and then minus 2 and 3, of course 3 is bigger, so 2 and minus 1, this will be plus 1 equal to 0. So can you see this one? Is this in the form of this, like that another one, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0? Is this in the form? No. So we can do one thing, we can write it is not of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. As we have discussed earlier, like a cannot be 0. I hope you can relate this one. I have already explained earlier. So we cannot write this 0. So since here a is equal to 0 and it is an equation of degree 1, so we can write after all, hence the given equation doesn't represent a quadratic equation. So I hope this was easy for you. Like as I told you, again I will explain once. You see, we just need to check whether they are quadratic equation or not. So I have wrote in short quadratic. If you don't understand this one, you can write quadratic. Okay, our question was this. So we're going to, like, first we wrote as a left hand side and right hand side, and as we have discussed method to check quadratic, like to check first we need to write it simplest form. Okay, we wrote in simplest form by multiplying, and then compare the equation, okay, with the standard form. And then you see, after this thing we have multiplied this thing. You don't have to write this thing, this is for explanation purpose. And then after this, all this thing we have just substitute the value, both the values we put here, and we bring this side by transposing, and then we compare, and what we got, that this is not the form of the standard equation, so it is not the form. So as you can read all this thing by yourself, and this is very easy, I guess. I hope you can do the other one. So before we go there, we can solve the another equation also, like question number 2. Question number 2 was like x plus 2 square is equal to 4x3. So this is our the next question. So if you want to try, then pause the video and then you try by yourself. Actually this is very good thing. Whenever you see a square, then put the formula and then you can go ahead and just multiply all this thing. So this is very easy stuff. Like, I hope you know that what is the a plus b whole square formula, and that's a very easy thing. And for suppose if you don't know, some of you, if you don't know about this, suppose a plus b, we can write like a square plus twice ab plus b square. So just put this, suppose this is a and this is your b, and just put the value on this formula. Otherwise you can multiply, like we can multiply like x plus 2, we can multiply like x plus 2. You can do whatever you want to do, so there is no any restriction on doing this. Since we can see this is the power, as I told you, we're going to expand it properly, and so we can write like left hand side. I'm going to write solution. Left hand side is equal to, I think it's a little bit dark, I hope you can see it properly. Okay, left hand side is your x plus 2 squared. Now as I told you, you can just put on this formula, and I hope you can actually, if you have studied well in lower classes 8, 9, then you can do it properly. This is x squared because a squared, can you see it? Okay, so this will be x squared, and then I'm going to write b squared first, 2 to the 4, and then twice ab. Twice ab, what is it twice? 2. What is a? X, and b is your this one. So we can write x squared plus 4 and 2 to the 4. This will be 4x. Okay, I hope this is easy for you. And then we can write here, since this formula a plus b whole square, it's always a better option to write it properly, because when an examiner or if someone check your copy, then they can easily understand all this thing. Of course they know everything, not everything means everything about this topic, but it's better to represent all this, means write all this thing in the side by giving the some scenes or some, always put the reason. That's all I want to say. Okay, so after this we can do the right hand side, or you want to write, we can just write on, okay, let me write on the this one on substituting. Already you have learned in the chapter 3, substituting this value. Okay, wait a second, let me turn on the light, otherwise it's very tough. Okay, this is my first video, so next time maybe I will arrange lighting and all this thing. Okay, let it be. So we'll substitute this value on, like for example, this is your equation 1. So we're going to put here, we'll substitute this value on equation 1. We get we'll put this one on this side, x squared plus 4. Okay, sorry, you cannot see it. We're going to put on this equation on this one here, x squared plus 4x, and the remaining the 4x plus 3. This one, I hope you can understand this one, and we can multiply it easily. Then after, you know about this one very well, x squared we can give implies plus 4 plus 4x, and the 4 into x, 4x plus sign, because plus, no, 4 3s are 12. So this is, and then we'll transpose this side, so x square is already there, and then plus, I'm going to move everything, just 4x, let it be, this will come this side, 4x, and then minus 12. Why minus? Because this side it will come and it will become minus. Okay, we are moving to the another side. So this is our equation, and let's make it simple. X square 4x, this will cancel out. Okay, means it will become 0. So 0x we can write like this, and then plus 4 and 12, it will be minus 8. I hope you can understand this one. Always think, whenever negative and positive will be there, you think that positive you have and negative you need to give to someone else. So suppose you have 4 rupees and you need to give someone 12. So if you give them 4, then how much you need to pay? That's 8, I guess. Yeah, isn't it? So I hope, and we can write like this, 0. Okay, so we can see here middle x is not there, but we can write at the end like x squared minus 8 equal to 0. Is this in the form of that standard equation? Yes, because as you can see here, I wrote like this, 0. There was only one condition, that the first a cannot be 0. The remaining these things are not necessary. So we can write at the end, yes, it is in the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and a does equal to 0. Okay, so hence you can write from here downside, hence given, if you want to give comma, equation is quadratic equation. I hope all these things are easy. Pause the video and see how the things are done. You can learn it properly, and this video is only for those who don't know anything from the beginning, and they can learn it properly, all this thing. So if you are very weak in maths, no problem, I'm going to cover all this thing. Like I'm not going to leave any simple thing, like for example 4 into 3, 4 into x, 4 into 3, 12. So I'm going to explain everything in this chapter. So this is I just tried to help you through the video. Like I've been waiting for long time, like on this lockdown. I thought of helping you, but it's very problematic for me, because I have to prepare and then again record, and then again I have to upload it on the internet, means YouTube. So I hope you can learn this thing very easily, and I will try not to make it harder. If it's hard, then of course I will drop it, and whatever the easy things are there, we'll learn that one. Because if you just want to learn mathematics, let's learn the easy, and whatever you enjoy mathematics, you do one thing. Like most of the people, they think the maths is very tough. This is the biggest problem we have. So whenever you're going to think like that maths is very tough, of course everything is going to be tough. So whenever, like if you know someone, friend, I don't want to waste time in this section, like before I'm teaching, but one thing you just keep in your mind, like never think maths is tough. Even it is, but always think opposite of it, because our brain works like that only. You always think that maths is very easy, always keep saying, yeah, maths is very easy, maths is very easy, even it's tough. Even for me also, like when I don't understand something, then I think, oh, it's very tough from inside. But as I met myself, it's very easy, it's very easy. All the time I keep repeating that one, and then I tried on the another day, another time, and I can easily solve that one with some help, of course. So moving up to the next, we have like solution of quadratic equation. It's going to be a long video, I guess, because I'm taking long time, means very, like it's very, I'm going very slowly. So like the next topic is solution or roots of a quadratic equation. So what we're going to do,